Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me. Welcome to my Courageous Masterpiece YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sarah. I'm an artist, entrepreneur, and best-selling Amazon author. I have coined my business after my Courageous Masterpiece because I want to help people find courage to confront their fears and overcome. Uh, for those of you who don't know me, I have overcome quite a bit in my life and have really invested a lot into my time and invested a lot into my life and how to change my perspective and really in all areas of my life. About 6 years ago, I was at my heaviest, and you would not recognize me today. I felt lost, and I didn't know who I was anymore. And that was a very pivotal point in my life where I was able to really learn to get me back. And part of that journey was through art. And so tonight we're gonna do an art class, and um, I would love to teach you how to do some trees and some flower trees. And this, I love spring; it's my favorite season of the year. And one of my favorite types of trees are lilac trees. And so tonight I'm going to teach you how to do some lilacs. And if you're new at painting, just follow along. I'd love to have you join. And if you just want cheap entertainment, then you're welcome to stay too. And if this is finding value, please let me know. If you have any specific questions for me about my art class or the coaching that I do, or even how to purchase some of the art behind me, please comment below or send me an email at mycourageousmasterpiece@gmail.com. Okay, so funny story, it's the truth. I have only been painting for about 6 years. And a lot of people that I talk with, they're like, I can't paint. And it's kind of hard for people to even take that step because they look at the art in the museums and they think they get intimidated and how wonderful it might be. And um, I want you to just not worry about that. I mean, art is just an expression of what's in the heart. And you don't have to, it doesn't have to go in a museum, you know? So the cool thing, and I think this is what makes people uncomfortable, is that um, art has no rules, and that's what's kind of hard for people. Like, we were taught to color within the lines, and to use all these different rules in life, and so it's really kind of difficult for people um, who like control and who like that realm of all the rules to really be able to tap into that and let go. Um, so if you're new at painting, please follow along. If not, hopefully you can learn something too. And I would just love any feedback and just excited to have you join today. So I'm just going to share a little bit about what I have, the different supplies that I have. I specialize in acrylic paint. Um, right here, I just have a simple 8 by 10 canvas. And I bought these at Michael's, or you can get them at Walmart. They pretty inexpensive. They come in packs of like 10 or 12. And you can get those for, I think, like $10, pretty inexpensive. And again, if you're kind of on a budget, these are great. This is a great way to start because they're not very big and they're very easy to paint. And then you can also paint over them if you don't have any more. I also have a bunch of paint here. I've got these different sets. I'm going to turn a light on. It's not, the light went off. So they've got a lot of different sets you can buy, but again, you don't need anything really fancy. I would encourage you, if you're just starting out and you don't have a big budget, just get the primary colors. You know, the reds, the yellow, orange, blue, green, white, black. Just get the basics, because the cool thing about art is, or using acrylics, is you can blend them. And this is one of the things that I love about using acrylic paint. And so one of the brands that I like to get is it's called Liquitex, and it's just Liquitex Basic Acrylics. It's kind of what it looks like. And this is just a 0.74 fluid ounce. You could also get the larger ones too. This is a 8.45 liquid ounces, and I use a lot of white, so I usually stock up on that one. And then I also have we're going to need for tonight's class, we're going to need some Q-tips, so grab some Q-tips for some of the texture, and then just some basic paintbrushes. And again, you can get these pretty inexpensive. Just look for a basic acrylic paint recommendation for paintbrushes, either on Amazon or Walmart even, or Michael's, your local craft store. And no, I'm not an affiliate, but just get a basic set. You want some that are varying sizes. So we've got some finer tip paintbrushes, and 1/2 inch, and then some rounded tips and some angles, and then even some bigger brushes there. So yeah, I just want to encourage you. You don't have to have a lot of money. You don't have to invest a lot of money. Just get some basic canvas and some primary colors, and then some paintbrushes. And even if you like to do, you can use different things around the house, like a sponge or Q-tips. I also have this plastic cup, solo cup, and I've got my water in here. And this is for just kind of using water to either thin out the paint, or also even to wash your paintbrushes too. Now, the thing you need to know about working with acrylics is that it dries very quickly. So if you accidentally get something on your table or your clothes, you want to make sure you've got like a paper towel handy so that you can clean that off really quickly with the water. Okay, and that's kind of why I also like having my water close by as well. Another thing that I have too is I've got like some paper plates, or these are just some foam plates, and these are very inexpensive at the dollar store. So yeah, have fun with it. And again, you don't need to break the bank. You can also use different things that you might have around the house to do this as well. Okay, so let's get started on this spring painting. And so I also have some paper towels handy. I just dip my paintbrush in the water. And what I like to do is I like to prime my canvas. So all I'm doing is I just have a little bit of water, and I am going over my canvas and just kind of priming that. And what it does is it helps get that fabric a little bit loose so that it can absorb the paint that you're about to put on it. Pretty simple. So we are going with a spring theme right now. And so what I love to do is think about your painting in layers, right? And so a lot of times when we look at a picture, we look at something, we see it, the front of it first. So like, let's say, for example, this cup. So if you're looking at that, you see the cup first, and then you see the background, okay? So with art, with painting, what I like to do is I like to see the background and then see the front. And so that's one of the things I try to focus on when I do my paintings. So we're going to do that right here. We're going to start with the background, and then we're going to bring it up, everything kind of layered into the foreground, right? So we think about, lilac trees, either they are, what time of day is it? Is it in the afternoon, or is it in the morning, or is it in the bright sunshine in the middle of the day? There's all kinds of things that you can do for your background, right? Also, is it in a grassy field, or is it in amongst a bunch of other lilacs too, right? Or a bunch of other trees. So get creative with it. What comes to mind? Another thing you can do that's kind of fun too is use different colors. So let's say for lilac trees, they're traditionally white, pink, purple, But what if you use something different that's kind of the opposite, or maybe it's like a gray or brown, or like a bright fluorescent neon color. That's a cool thing. Use some creativity with it. This is, again, has no rules. Whatever comes to mind. What comes to mind for you, right? So I'm more of a traditionalist. I'm going to go with a blue sky and a green grassy type background. What I like to do is I kind of like to start with my horizon. So if you look out, let's say you're on the top of a hill and you look out and you see that horizon where the sky meets the land. And what does that look like, right? And so that could be either right in the middle, or a little bit above, or a little bit below. And so I want you to decide, where's your horizon line going to be? For me, it's going to be probably about a third of the way up through the canvas, so right in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually start with my sky colors, because it's lighter than a green when it goes on the canvas. And so that way, when I come back over with my green, it's going to be easier to cover up that lighter color. And so that's how I'm going to start my layering. So for me, I love to do like 3 different types of colors of the same color. So with the sky, it kind of transitions, like sometimes depending on what time of day it is, there might be just different hues that are coming out, right? And so for me, I'm going to do like a lighter blue and a white. And so I'm going to grab this one, and this is called cobalt blue. For those of you who want to do what I'm doing, I've got cobalt blue, and I'm just going to put a little bit of white on there. This is just titanium white, Bob Ross's favorite, titanium white. And again, I just use a couple little dollops. These are probably about maybe 3/4 of an inch. You don't need a lot, but give yourself at least a 1/2 inch of a drop there. And I'm just going to add another blue too. So I've got this light blue violet is what it's called. I'm going to do just another dollop there. As you can see, I've got those. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start kind of mixing. So I just dab my paintbrush in there. That's what it looks like. So I dabbed it and just kind of brushed it on there. And then I'm just going to take a drop of the white and mix it in there. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to actually want to start with the lightest color at the bottom, and then we're going to go darker and darker and darker as we go up the canvas, okay? And again, it gives you that transition of that skyline, okay? So we're going to pick the skyline. Where's that skyline at? For me, it's going to be probably about here. And we just go back and forth. And there's my basic. Now I like to also wrap it around the edges. I've seen different people where they take masking tape and they tape off the edges, and then you can pull it off, and it's got this nice little frame. I like to just wrap around the whole canvas, just because it's got that clean finish look, and then you don't have to really worry about getting a canvas or a frame if you don't want to. So that's kind of why I do it. So now what I'm going to do is just add color. We created that little file, and I'm just going to add a little bit of that lighter color blue there. Mix it in. And now I'm just going to kind of go halfway in between that other line that we did and pull it up. Okay. And just pull it up and blend it in. And so what that's creating for you is just that that blended look, right? It's in the skyline. So we're just going to repeat that and continue to do the same step, add a little bit more. And then once we get higher, closer to the top, we're going to add that darker blue color so that it creates that kind of a darker sky. So again, you can't really go wrong with it. Just encourage you to play around. If you really don't like it, then you can paint over it. So again, no worries. There's no rules. Just play with it. Have fun. I don't know if you can tell, but that just kind of gradually getting a little bit darker as we go up into the sky. And just continue to do the same process as you see fit. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same process with the grass. I'm just going to clean off this brush, rinse it off. And I'm just going to grab a different plate and some different colors. So now we've got that green grass area, right? So I'm grabbing, it's called bright green. And you can use any color variants of green that you'd like. You can do the darker greens or the lighter greens. And again, sometimes that just kind of depends on what time of day you want your painting to be in, or even it could be fun abstracting where it doesn't tie into the normal colors scheme, right? Just play around, whatever you want to do. It's just have fun with it. So I went with grass green, a light olive green, and then the bright green. And that's what that looks like. And I'm going to do kind of the same thing. What I did is I just stuck my whole paintbrush in those and just go across the canvas, just like we did the other. So my paintbrush is pretty wet. I didn't dry it off very well. But that's got kind of a fun effect to it. The important thing is that you just kind of try to clean it up as quickly as possible. We get to make messes, which is fun. I'm just going to dry that a little bit more. Pull it in. And typically what I like to do is I like to wait at least 5 minutes before I do another layer. So I'm just gonna get this on there, and then I'm gonna let it dry because it's kind of wet right now. I'm gonna take my sponge and sop up some of that excess. We'll just let that sit a little bit. I would love to hear from you. Comment below or reach out to me. Are you new at art? How has art affected your life? How has it changed and transpired and made a difference for you? For me, art has become a way of healing, and it's become a way of communicating and just expressing myself and relaxing and learning how to just find peace. And it's become a really good hobby as well. I haven't really been painting that long. It's probably going on, gosh, it was 2017 when I started, which was, gosh, it's going on 5 years now. But yeah, it was kind of fun. I had a friend, and we would go and have paint night at their house, and he was a really good artist, and he taught me a lot of really neat techniques, and did some blending, and he had some great compliments and said that, really encouraged me and encouraged me to stick in there and to keep doing it. And this Phoenix right here behind me is actually my signature piece. It's one of my first paintings that I did. And there's other videos here on my channel you're welcome to check out, where I talk a little bit more about that. But yeah, so what I do is I help people. I do classes. I do art classes, and I help people process emotions. So right now in the world, there's a lot of trauma. There's a lot of turmoil going on in the world, and people need to heal. People need to deal with that. And I don't know if you've heard, there's a lot of rage rooms that are becoming popular, but all it is that pent up emotion, those pent up anger, that anger or frustration, or just all the injustices that are going on right now in the world. And so it's just really important that we be able to tap into that and to let go of those things. And for me, it's become a way of healing the different grief. I help people process grief through art classes and take them through the grief process. Right now, I'm going through a series of different online art classes that I'm going to have, and super excited to share that, get those ready for the world to consume and to learn some different techniques on how to process that. I attended Tony Robbins events and walked on fire. I'm a fire walker. For those fellow fire walkers out there, hello. Drop a fire bomb in the comments. Anyway, so yeah, so I've invested so much money into the development of self-development, and even just a lot of coaches that I've had to help coach me through what I'm doing today, financial coaches and health coaches and business coaches and healing coaches. And I also worked with a coach who does hypnotherapy, and I interviewed her on my Courageous Masterpiece YouTube channel. I'd love for you to check that video out to see what she does in the world and what hypnotherapy is. And there's just a whole gamut of different things in our life that stem from really being a whole person. And Tony Robbins talks about the wheel of life, and like financial, mental health, physical health, spiritual health, your career, your mission and purpose in your life. And um, yeah, so I help people to tap into that and have something to, as they have maybe hit a wall with something that they're going through where they might feel stuck um, in the grief process or frustrated or, um, just disappointed in themselves or, all kinds of different things. Um, where I will help you kind of process that through art and just having a lot of fun. And, when I was a little girl, I used to want to be a marine biologist and not an artist. I had no idea, even though I remember sitting at my mom and dad's kitchen table and just painting rainbows after school. And I just loved all the colors of the rainbow. And I remember after school just coloring rainbows after rainbow, making rainbows. And um, I had some teachers in school encourage me and tell me that I was creative. And to be honest, I really don't feel that way. Um, I do hearts and I do different things like that, but um, there's so many talented artists and teachers out there, and there's so many talented people in the world that it's very humbling for me to even be doing this. But that's why I just want to encourage you that if this is something you want to try as a hobby or work with me, then hey, if I can do it, so can you. It's really very simple. Like I said at the beginning of this video, that um, you can walk away with some very inexpensive art supplies, even at the dollar store and at Walmart, and you could be creating um, different paintings yourself. And um, so yeah, I just encourage you to pursue it and have fun. There are no rules. So I'm going to just fan this a little bit because it's taking a while. Another thing you can do to dry it is you can dab it with paper towel. Um, and you can even get a hair dryer and do that. But I'm not going to do that because I have a microphone. I'm trying it out. I had some trouble with my audio before. Um, so I'm going to try to sit here at the table and just kind of work through what we got here. Okay, so now we have the background to our lilac, right? So what we're going to do is you can just picture what that looks like for you, how many trees you want. For me, I'm going to do probably 2 or 3 trees and get started. And so what we want to do is want to grab a little bit of brown. This one is red oxide. I'm going to do just a touch of red oxide. And then also this color is, this is almost out. I'm kind of transitioning into another palette of color because I've used most of mine. But we will go with this lighter one. Actually, is a gold. That might be kind of fun. So yeah, just a couple to get my my piece started. And I'm going to grab kind of a taller, thin brush. Just do a touch in the water. And what I'm doing is I'm mixing those colors together. We don't want them to be completely blended. And then just decide, all right, where are those trees going to go? Yeah, I think I'm gonna have 3 trees, and then just do the outline. And just make your outline and fill it in. I know where they're gonna go. I'm gonna grab a wider brush that's a little bit flatter because I think it's just gonna go a little bit faster to take that and build that tree. That way, just be a little bit faster to make those tree trunks. So with lilacs, they have a lot of kind of a bush, you know. It's not really a tree. So I'm just gonna have some branches go out like that. Just have these branches. And they don't have to be perfect. It's just the outline because what's going to happen is we're going to start layering. So the next layer is going to be those lilac flowers and stems. So just wherever you feel they need to go. You don't have to be detailed again. So that is my outline. Now I'm just going to go back and fill in those edges, make them a little bit finer edges so that it's not blurred. There we go. So I'm going to use that same paintbrush, and then I'm going to go back in with my green and just fill in some grass. Down here below. What is your favorite part of spring? Me, I just love seeing the flowers, all the different colors. So beautiful. Spring is my favorite season. I just love all the new growth. And last weekend I planted some violets. It was just, they were beautiful. They were so much fun. My boyfriend's daughter and I did that together and took one to my son this weekend, and just fun. I just love flowers. So yeah, you can put as much detail or as little detail as you want. What is your favorite spring memory? Maybe when you were little, you just had fun going out where it wasn't so cold, and you had to stay inside during the winter, and you could just go and play. Nights are getting longer. Maybe you like to go on walks and um, just enjoy the evening and all the smells, fresh smells. And okay, so I've added some more detail. You can do as much or as little as you want. No pressure. Now this is the fun part. I love doing this, and it's just gonna come alive. Can't wait for you to see this. I'm just gonna grab another plate, and then I'm gonna grab some different hues of purple. So I like to do at least 3 of the same color. If you want to use pink, or you can use maybe you want, like, you don't want the lilac, or maybe you want like yellow flowers, or you want orange flowers, or something like that. So choose 3 different colors of the same color. So like I'm going to do purple. I'm going to try to. I'm kind of running out of it, so I'm going to do purple, and then just get like 3 different dabs. And again, you want it to be at least 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 of an inch thick. So I've got, this color is called violet. I don't know how much of this I have left. This color is called brilliant purple. Yeah, I think I've got enough in here. So as you can see, that is quite a bit lighter, but it makes it kind of fun. And then another thing you can do too is maybe use white. And so what happens is, if you've got these 2 purple and then you put white in there, and it mixes together and it makes a lighter color, and that's kind of fun to do too. Let's see how much of this other one I have. I use purple a lot, so I don't know. I'm kind of running low. Oh yeah, I'll use a little bit of this. This color is deep violet. So I've got violet, deep violet, and then purple. So next you're going to want to grab some Q-tips, and I would bundle up at least 5 or 6 in just a little bundle like this. Okay. And all you do is just dab it. And you kind of mix them together. And it doesn't have to be blended really well. And then you just start putting those flowers all over that tree. wherever that might be. You can kind of see what that looks like as you go. And then just fill it in as you see fit. I'm going to add a little bit of white so that as I go between the different trees, you can see the different hues. Because I don't want them all blended together. I want them to be separated enough so that you can differentiate between the trees. This is really good for also adding like highlights. Just get the Q-tip and put like a little dot and highlight it. And just kind of fill it in as you see fit, and see how it's got the different layers there where you've got the sky and the grass, and you can add as much detail as you want. You can do this also with different colors. So let's say you want to do pink, or you want to do, like I said, yellow or orange. Just play around with it, and then you can come back in and a lot of times with paintings too, I try to identify which area is the light coming from, and then you can add your highlights of white from that side. So like right now, my sun is going to be coming from this side of my painting, and so I'm just going to add some more white highlights on this side, and then underneath it's going to be like a darker purple. So it's just going to naturally have those shadows that you have, and then I'm going to have some of the lighter highlights on top. It's kind of all blended together to one tree, but you get the idea. Anyway, that is how you do a lilac tree. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment if you learned anything tonight, or if you'd like to see another type of painting. I think what I might do before we head out is I think I'm going to add a couple little flowers down below, maybe some pretty yellow ones. This color is a deep yellow. And let's see. Maybe I'll take a Q-tip. I'll just take a Q-tip and just add a couple dots here and there. Some yellow flowers just to brighten it up. And now what we'll do is we will just take kind of a fine paintbrush. I almost want to call it a toothbrush. Don't do that. And then right where I had put those dots for the Q-tip, I'm just gonna put some petals there, 4 or 5 petals. They say with art you don't want even numbers. You don't want 2, 4, 6, 8. You want odd numbers. So that's something I try to do with whatever I'm painting, whether that's a flower petal or trees or clouds or whatever. So again, just kind of pulled out some of those petals. And this can be as detailed as you want. You can go in there and add stems. You can go in there and add more to it. And you can go in and do a different color. If you want to do orange, you can, or red, pink, whatever. And I'm not even like, I'm just kind of splattering around. It's like it doesn't have to be perfect. That's the beautiful thing about this. Is it doesn't have to be perfect. So I don't want you guys getting worried about that. Okay. There are my flowers. I guess we could call them some daffodils and lilacs. So anyway, thank you so much for joining and following along tonight. If you're curious about more of what I do, check out some of my other videos. And I hope this added value to your life. Have a wonderful evening. Sending you love.